In this video, we will discuss correspondence and how everything is interconnected. Peace, beautiful soul. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Solely the Mystic Spiritual Advisor. Now, as you know, on my channel, every video I create is dedicated to the expansion of your awareness. And yes, today we will be talking about correspondence, how things correspond with one another, and also how things are interconnected. So first and foremost, I want to start off by talking about the flower of life. Unfortunately, I am not editing my videos due to technical reasons, I guess you can say. So I will not be, pulling up a picture of the flower of life. But for those who don't know what the flower of life is it's one way or another, it's ultimately an ever-ending pattern of circles, you can say. The flower of life, in a sense, begins with one circle. It is said that, in a sense, this is kind of how consciousness began, or how God began. We have to understand that there is a source to everything. Everything, in a sense, has a corresponding factor. If everything corresponds, then everything corresponds to one thing, you can say. Within the flower of life, it's ultimately one circle that becomes one circle that intertwines with another circle, that intertwines with another circle, that intertwines with another circle, and as it keeps going and building up, what happens is it ultimately, in a sense, creates this pattern we call the flower of life. So yes, everything is correspondent, everything is connected. One of the reasons why, for example, ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt was so advanced was because they understood this. They understood that the external world was a correspondence of the internal world. So they did things like study pine cones to understand the pineal gland. They would literally take a pine cone from a tree, study it, and understand the workings of the pineal gland, And they did this with a plentiful of other things as well. When we understand the law of correspondence, it does this great because you start to understand that your external world is a correspondence of your internal world. For example, look around. Look around your environment. Is it messy? If you have a messy environment, this is an indication that your mind is messy. That in a sense, you completely haven't yet gotten your shit together, we can kind of say. So yes, that is, in a sense, a simple example. So the law of correspondence also is, in a sense, the law that allows astrology to be possible. Astrology, in a sense, is a correspondent of biology, as I like to say, because within astrology, there are a multitude of symbols, energies that connect with one another to formulate an infinite amount of energies and entities, if you get what I'm saying. Biology is the same. The nucleic acid, or DNA as it's called, there are, if I'm not mistaken, about four. There's T, G, A, C. I'm not even honestly sure. But the point is, there's a fixed amount of, in a sense, keys, you can kind of say, or strands. And I don't really have my facts right at this moment, but what I'm getting at is DNA is ultimately composed of a set of letters, and I think there are 6 to 4. These 6 to 4 letters, or nucleic acids, six to four of them go on to compose the vast, adverse, world we call nature. Astrology is the same. By understanding the law of correspondence, you start to understand that what is happening in your world is typically dependent upon or is because of something that is happening in the world above you, you can kind of say. But now we are going into, the multi dimensions. In order for us to explore this, you can say we must realize and understand that we ourselves, human beings, are multidimensional. This is something that has been kept away from us because once you realize you're multidimensional and once you start to connect with the different aspects of you, yes, that's right, there are different aspects of you, versions of you. One of, and then I am a being that, because we are all multidimensional beings. One being that I am highly connected to, you can say, is the dragon aspect of me, meaning in one of the dimensions, I am a dragon, and this energy entity comes to me, and I, within myself, feel it, I guess the way it manifests within my chart, there's a lot, but one, my Mars is in Sagittarius. Pluto and Mars within my chart, in a sense, conjunct each other. But I have my Mars in Sagittarius and I have 5 planets in Gemini. So there is a major opposition. So there is a lot going on in my chart. So that's another story, But another basic, simple example would be higher self. A lot of us don't know this, but your higher self is actually your future self. This is because time is not linear. It's not linear as we've been told, but rather vertical. Everything that was and can be already is. This is why my previous video holds so much weight. On my previous video, I was talking about how your reality, creates your external world. So ultimately, what I'm gonna be doing for the next maybe 7 days, technically 7 days, I will be talking about the seven hermetic principles. But I will be talking about them, but in a manner which, in a sense, you can kind of say I won't directly be speaking of them, if that makes sense. Technically, we are on the second hermetic principle. This is the principle of correspondence. The principle or law of correspondence states, as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything is corresponding with itself. With this logic, with this understanding, understand that your higher self, in a sense, is on a higher dimension than you. Your higher self is, in a sense, more astral, if that makes sense. So, what I'm getting at here is things like witchcraft, magic, sorcery, so on and so forth. The reason why these are so powerful and they work is because when you, you know, um, participate or hold your own ritual or ceremony, understand a ritual is anything that is done repetitively. Most people have a ritual of getting coffee in the morning. Most people have a ritual of brushing their teeth. Most people have a ritual of going to work. All of these are considered rituals. A ritual is not a ritual unless it is repetitively done. You can kind of say what is happening is when you are repeating something, you are matching its frequency. You must repeat it consistently because we are, in a sense, well, not in, we are ascending as a collective. the energies are getting less dense, and the gates, you can kind of say, are opening. This is because the veil is thinning. The quarantine is thinning. A lot of us don't know this, but the third dimension is hell. The third dimension is also the solar plexus. It's within the solar plexus that the ego exists. A lot of people don't know this, but the devil is the manifestation of the ego. The devil, in a sense, isn't a literal beast, but it's the manifestation of the ego. Satanism, for instance, is the worship of the ego. This is why Satanists believe might is right. They believe that you can, they believe power over love. They don't understand the love that, they don't understand the power of love. They more have the love of power. And in a sense, they believe that everyone for themselves. It's a really egotistical religion, you can kind of say. Sadly, most of our world leaders, because the only leader in my world is me, I guess that's why these quotations are up. Because I truly create my reality, but that's another subject. Well, that's my previous video. But yes, as I was saying, most of these leaders, world leaders, the ones in politics, the ones in, the government, and so on and so forth, they are Satanists. They are Satanists who take part in satanic rituals, things like pedophilia, ritualistic murder, and just so many other shit we won't be talking about in this video. So yes, as I was saying, the reason why magic is so powerful is because magic, or just thinking, or just look, I want to step back from magic real quick, because I feel like before I talk about magic, I should make a video where I break down, what magic is exactly, because a lot of us don't really deeply, truly get it, grasp it, you feel me? So yes, as I was saying, ritualism, the practice of doing something consistently. When you are doing something consistently, you are moving. When you're moving, you're vibrating. When you're vibrating, there's a frequency you must attract, or you must match. This is why, for example, my ritual of writing down my goals every fucking morning. Every morning when I wake up, I have a red pen. That's another story too. I have a red pen which I use in this red notebook technically, but the papers aren't, the paper I write on is not red, it's white. But technically the color red, it's really, we can say, connected to the earth realm. The reason why, and like voodoo and like witchcraft, they use blood. They use things like, you know, like I'll just say, chicken's blood, or like a goat's blood, or like, just all types of blood, or human's blood even. The reason why they do this in their rituals is because blood, one, in a sense, is vibrating at a earthly, you can say, vibration, at an earthly vibration. On top of that, red is the root chakra, which is earth. So when you utilize the color red, you are connecting to the earth realm. So I guess that's just why I, write my goals in red, because because I'm trying to manifest these fucking goals. My ritual of writing down my goal every day, what it's doing is it's literally programming my mind, putting me on a frequency which I must first vibrate to get to. This is why when you write goals, it's also important that you write a plan. I'm I am a very goal oriented person. I'm definitely gonna make videos in the future about goals, because if you don't have goals, then where the fuck are you going? You know, there's a saying, it goes, a man or a person without a map will end up anywhere. I forget word to word, to be honest. I guess long story short, it's like a person without a map will be okay with any destination they arrive to, essentially, comfortability, um, settling, and so on and so forth. But a person who has a map is on a journey to a path. Yeah, honestly, I just murdered the fuck out of that saying, so I'll definitely look into it. But the point here is the universe has nothing to respond to if you are stepping into your abilities, responsibility. The universe has nothing to respond to if you're not taking it upon yourself to measure yourself. When you write things down, you write them down because you have the ability to do so. When the universe sees what you are capable of cannot be measured, but it can be limited by you. Truly, we are infinitely capable of whatever it is we desire. But essentially, when you, in a sense, put yourself in a box, you're limiting yourself. And what happens is, like I said earlier, the law of correspondence. Everything corresponds with itself. Your beliefs correspond with your reality. So on and so forth. So thank you plenty for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely hope you got some information out of this, some good information you could utilize out of this. And as always, peace, peace, peace. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. And peace, beautiful, beautiful souls. Have a blessed, blessed, beautiful day.